Alright, we're back. So we got the game starting here in just a moment. We do have a delay up. So apparently they meant 9 Eastern Standard Time, which is not what this server or what this tournament is going off of. So I was a little bit confused. But it's all good. The lobby is up. The players are all here. Um, it looks like they're just finishing up some last minute touches on the game settings and stuff like that, and we'll be underway. Game is live, and we are good to go. So 0 to 100 here for me. And this week, I will be sure to switch over to my full screen overlay during the draft so that you guys can actually see what's going on here. Last week, I sat on my lobby screen for a little bit too long, and so the overlays looked a little bit, or not the overlays, but the band screens, the draft screens looked a little bit too small. You can still see everything. And of course, my commentary was so superb that everything was on the up and up. Right away, Team Gemini banning out the Tusker, and Cobra Boys following up with an Undying ban. Both very common, very popular first round bans. No one really likes going up against them. And of course, Tusker allows for a lot of very annoying play combinations to be made. You can have the Tusker Techies combination, which you see a lot in pub games, not so much in ranked games and tournament play, but it's still an option that's out there, and it's really hard to deal with. So they ban it out, and you don't have to think about it. Wind Ranger dropped out as well. Excellent hero, has a combination of nukes, hero control with her shackle shot, and excels at pushing down towers too with her ultimate. Leshrock, another very popular hero. He's kind of fading here a little bit now that all the pro teams are getting a little bit more adjusted to 684. But when 684 first dropped, he was hugely popular. And I think it was because of the super early, like 8-minute collapse into a death ball and fight as a single team, a single concentrated unit. Both teams opting to pick out their supports first. So Team Gemini picking up the Winter Wyvern, which I struggle to pronounce. Wyvern is difficult for me, but I'll probably just be calling him Winter for the duration of the game. I actually just played with him a few times here recently myself. He's an excellent hero, and he's very annoying, especially up against teams that don't have a lot of really hard nuke damage. A lot of hard nuke magical damage, let me clarify. So if Team Cobra picks up like PA, for example, she's going to be completely useless against whoever Winter decides to put in his little ice block there, the E spell. Cold Embrace, that's the words I'm looking for. Getting more people asking for me to cast them. And actually, he's an old friend of mine. Moving Target. So he's apparently in the AD2L league as well, and he and I used to play together quite a bit. We met on Travdude's stream, who introduced me to streaming and everything else. Doing a quick check to make sure my stream is online here. Sorry about that. Meanwhile, the second round of bans are coming out. You have Shadow Fiend banned out as well as Silencer. Viper, so the middle picked up, presumably the mid for Team Gemini. Uh, what was their second pickup? Team Gemini here taking a little bit of time with their second ban in their second round. I was showing offline because I had the delay on. That's why. So we should be live now. The stream is probably sitting right around the lobby screen before. But Storm Spirit is the second ban for Team Gemini in the second round there, so fourth ban overall for them. And they were probably just asking whoever's going to be playing that Viper, who do you not want to lane against? And he opted to block out the Storm Spirit. So it'll force another hero into that mid lane. Darkseer picked up for Cobra, presumably going to go in the off lane there. So you have your two supports and off lane, so Cobra will be looking to pick up a safe lane and a mid. That mid not being a Shadow Fiend or a Storm Spirit. Or a Leshrac, as they have already banned that one out. So they'll probably wait to see what Team Gemini picks up here before they make their final pick. Some of the heroes that are in favor right now for the mid lane that are still out there are probably going to be like your Lina, your Dragon Knight. I've seen Bloodseeker played in the middle lane. He's pretty popular this patch, and it wouldn't be a terrible pickup here. It would just sort of require their hard carry to be a bit meatier, unless Darkseer decides to go with a tankier build than normal. But I don't know how well Bloodseeker would fare against a Viper personally. I think that would be a bit of a struggle. Just in the sense that he'd still be able to, regen all of his HP and everything, but he wouldn't be able to really put too much pressure on the Viper, so Viper would get off his items pretty quick. And Cobra picking up their hard carry there in the Gyrocopter. Hugely popular in 683. Dropped off a little bit now, but he's still an excellent hero. They have nerfed Rocket Barrage a couple times, and so especially at the early couple levels, the first 2 levels or so, the rocket damage isn't nearly as strong as it used to be. You used to be able to solo pretty much any hero, especially as you were fighting over rune control for that 0-second rune. But another good team fight, and they have a lot of AoE right now on the side of Cobra. They have Ion Shell and Darkseer, as well as Disruptor's Kinetic Field and his ultimate Static Storm. And you combine all that into a Call Down and Flak Cannon. And this is a team that's looking to team fight, bring you together, and then just drop the sky on your head. With all of those big ultimates, though, Rubik is going to have plenty of opportunities here to pick out some good spells. There's a lot to pick from. I expect to see Earthshaker go and Blink Dagger into the Echo Slam, and then if they catch 3 heroes in a Darkseer vacuum, it's going to be hard for Team Gemini to escape that. Final bans coming out. They got Phoenix banned out on the side of Here Comes the Cobra, and Bloodseeker banned out from Team Gemini. So Team Gemini looking to, ban out whatever mids are. I can't believe I overlooked that one. Queen of Pain, of course, is another very, very popular mid player right now. I'd say probably the most popular on the pro circuit, and it complements Here Comes the Cobra's lineup very well. Her ultimate there, the Sonic Wave, will tear through all of them, as well as her normal Scream of Pain. So she'll be able to blink in, scream, ult, blink out. It also gives a built-in blink on the side of Here Comes the Cobra, as well as a slow, so it's one of the few characters who's going to be able to kind of keep up with Anti-Mage as he blinks around the map as well. Anti-Mage's blink is going to have a shorter cooldown. It looks like it drops down to 5 seconds, with Queen of Pain's on a 6-second cooldown. It's not that much of a difference, but every second counts when you're chasing heroes. And interestingly, an Invoker picked up by Team Gemini. So I suspect Viper will probably be going to the off lane, and Invoker will be taking the mid against the Queen of Pain there. 2 supports on each side. We're going to have some rotations. Right now, could go either way. I think Here Comes the Cobra have a very clear strategy in that they want to take a team fight, they want to group up, they want to bring Team Gemini together, and then just drop the house on them. So I'm looking forward to the game. I'm excited to see what they can pull off, and if they can get any big 4 or 5 man just crushings on either side of the map. So going down the line here, Robin Sock, as he told me to pronounce his name, is going to be playing your Darkseer. Let's see, how do I do this? All right, KC, the one who asked me to stream the game, so hat tip to KC. He's going to be playing your Queen of Pain. Looks like we might have some action here. They're going to be rotating through the jungle. So Sonics, I'm guessing is how you pronounce the Disruptor's name here. Wayne's World playing Earthshaker, and last but not least, Loose Puss playing the Gyrocopter. I should probably take a look at these names before I see them. And before I call out the Dire team, there's going to be some action here. Oh, a fissure coming off from Earthshaker, and it alerts Rubik, who's falling back to the safety of his allies. There's 4 or 5 there. So they're just going to fall back. They're going to sacrifice this mid rune, hug the tier 2, and play it safe. Invoker will get an uncontested bot rune, and that's how we're going to start the game. But first, let me jump over to my audio. Because I did not have the audio going. So on the side of the Dire, we have EV440, 440. Firehawk playing the Anti-Mage. In the mid lane, going up against Queen of Pain, is going to be the Viper, not the Invoker. So Polyrhythm going up head-to-head against Queen of Pain, played by KC. No. In the off lane, we got Dot Kite going up against Loose Puss's Gyrocopter and the Disruptor. A little bit of harassment coming out from Gyrocopter here. But Invoker isn't going to take too much damage from that. He's got Tangos, so he'll Tango up, he'll be good. Got a tri-lane coming out on the Dire side of the map in their safe lane. So this is going to attempt to zone out the Darkseer, but the advantage of being Darkseer is that Ion Shell, you can just throw it on creeps and walk away. Nay. So Winter trying to harass here, trying to zone out the Darkseer, but he's eating some creep damage as he does. So Invoker's on Deny Detail, he's got 1 there. And 5 last hits coming out on the way of First Blood! I missed it. Blink and you miss it. First Blood. Casey just on the Queen of Pain, blinking to the high ground and dropping Viper underneath his tier 1 tower there. So while I didn't catch the kill, I did catch the blood stain. Invisibility. And doesn't quite have the bottle yet, but it'll likely be right on its way, and there it is. Compliments of that first blood gold. We also have a rotation coming out from Here Comes the Cobra. Earthshaker sitting on an Invis rune. Viper's out of place. Oh, but the fissure might just save him here. The fissure slightly off the mark. Viper was able to get back right before the supports on the side of Here Comes the Cobra were able to get into position. And so he gets to the high ground. Fissure blocks out the rest of the Radiant team. And And he retreats to safety to live and fight another day. Got a heads-up display from Disruptor pinging out the Ancients, and they're going to stack both of those camps. So that one gets off, but Disruptor's camp does not get stacked appropriately. But there's already 2 stacks there. So this is going to be a lot of essentially free gold going the way of Gyrocopter once he gets a couple more points into Flak Cannon and wants to fall back from Invoker. Everyone rocking the new items, the new Immortal 3 items by the looks of it. You have the golden Gyrocopter rockets here, firing the golden and very odd sounding. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like the sound of Gyrocopter's new rocket barrage. The ability icon isn't too bad. Oh, let me switch up to the Darmin cast overlay instead of this typical in-game overlay. Need to brand myself. Need to keep it up there. Unfortunately, it does block off the team names, so that's one of the overlays I am going to be looking for. Earthshaker picking up the bounty rune. And as it sits, just everyone continuing to farm. Queen of Pain rotating top. It's going to catch out the Winter here, who goes into the Embrace. It's going to regen. Queen of Pain has haste though, so she'll be able to kite Anti-Mage around. Comes back in, it's gonna drop Winter, and they're gonna be looking for Anti-Mage, but he's gonna be out at the cost of Rubik's life. So they pick up 2 supports on the Dire side. Earthshaker rotates to the lane, pick up a little bit of experience himself, and that was compliments of the haste rune picked up by KC, who's already more or less won his lane. He's slightly out farming the Viper. He also got the kill on him. So rotating to the top and getting 2 more kills is going to push him that much further ahead in terms of XP and gold. So sitting on a 3-0 hero lead right now on the Radiant's favor. And in addition to that, the Gyrocopter is leading in last hits by about 10 already at the 5-minute mark. Invoker looking to make a play here. He gets the Tornado EMP off. He's chasing after. He drops him low, 200 health, but Gyrocopter's just going to dip into the side shop. His Disruptor buddy's here in case Invoker decided to get too crazy with it, but pop a Clarity, or excuse me, yeah, he gets Clarity dumped on him by Disruptor, but he pops a healing salve. He's back to full health. Mana's regenning, but Invoker slaps it off of him. One of the rudest moves in Dota. Slapping a Clarity Potion off of an enemy hero. The 6-minute mark, Viper's going to be rotating top. It's well protected here by some of his supports. So he'll get the Illusion Rune, pop it immediately, and chase down Queen of Pain, who has a support ally of herself to dissuade any deep dives by the Viper. Disruptor playing the good support role here. Secures the bottom bounty rune and lets Queen of Pain come get it with her bottle. Anti-Mage picking up a pretty early ring of health. Gets that before his boots. And he's going to be regenning here. He's taking a little bit of harassment from these ion shells that keep coming through. Rubik trying to keep it away from his carry, but if you want last hits as an anti-mage, you're going to have to get into that melee range and face tank the ion shells a little bit, at least from time to time. So Ring of Health, not a bad pickup. Unfortunately, the Stout Shield isn't going to do a lot against that magic damage. And I keep missing KC's kills against Viper. I'm allergic to it. There's so many other heroes sitting right next to each other in these other lanes that I'm expecting the aggression to come out from these lanes, but it's KC taking out Viper time and time again. Fissure comes out from Earthshaker. It's not quite enough to block out the path, so they are able to get away. There is a glimpse by Disruptor who calls back the Invoker, but now rotations by the side of Team Gemini. All 5 of them are in the top lane. They're doing some damage to Disruptor, but neither team able to secure a kill. Fisher slightly off the mark again. But if it wasn't for the aggressive rotations by Team Gemini, they likely would have been able to get one. But KC blanking in and getting the last kill. Call down off the mark, doesn't hit any heroes. And Invoker tossing out a silence, pushing back the Radiant side. So they're not able to keep up the aggression. Anti-Mage blinks in and drops Disruptor, and the fighting continues. Gyrocopter popping his Golden Immortal, and here comes the strength of that team fight AoE damage that I was talking about. So you have Earthshaker and Gyro popping Flak Cannon, just doing AoE damage to pretty much everyone on the side of the Radiant because all 5 of them were up there, and Flak Cannon's range is what I would call gross. It's 1,000, which is too far. They need to nerf that. That's gross. But he puts it to good use, and he tenderizes the meat of Team Gemini. And at the conclusion of all the fighting, Team Gemini is on the board with 2 kills. But Queen of Pain continuing to grow there. She did take 1 death, but she's already got a bit of a lead, so she'll be able to recover from that fine. Taking a quick look at the net worth here, she's, of course, continuing to sit on top with her record of 4-1, sitting on top of the net worth charts. Followed closely by Gyrocopter, well, relatively closely, 800 gold away at the 9-minute mark. And that's due to Gyrocopter's lead in terms of last hits. Fisher coming out on Invoker, but with Tornado and EMP ready, they're not going to pursue. They know that Invoker's a tough one to catch out. Of course, he can always just dip into his shadow form and get out of there. And now, Gyrocopter's going to make use of these stacks that are delightfully set up for him. So he pops his call down on the first stack, Flat Cannon and some down. Disruptor tries and fails to stack the other camp for him at the same time. And they just got there a little bit late, so they weren't able to fully stack it. Might be a little skirmish over the bottom rune here, but looks like both teams kind of back off and just revert back to the lanes. Winter sitting right behind the Viper now, trying to protect him from the continued aggression of KC. Winter takes Airborne, but doesn't do much with it. Queen of Pain, another hero that's very hard to catch out with her blink. So they're going to need some form of lockdown. Rubik not yet level 6. So he's not going to be spell stealing much. Anti-Mage is there. And he has now picked up his boots. So he'll be a little bit more mobile. Here, Queen of Pain yelling. Anytime she's yelling, it seems like she's killing someone, so gonna try to keep my eyes on her. See if I can't catch out her next kill that seems all but inevitable. Disruptor rotating to the top lane, but there's 3 heroes in the top lane on the side of the Dire, so Winter cold embracing the Rubik, regen his health a little bit. Supports on both sides, just kind of chilling in the jungle. A little bit of harass coming out on the side of Queen of Pain, and they force back the Disruptor and the Darkseer. So they're just going to continue to farm a little bit, but KC on Queen of Pain decides to make the rotation as well as the Earthshaker. So there's 4 here, and the Dire do not see this coming. All they see right now is the Disruptor, who they've already seen, and the Darkseer. So they're gonna, Dire side's gonna make a go at this. And it looks like they are probably gonna catch out the Disruptor, but at what cost? Queen of Pain blinks in, casts her ult. Earthshaker with 1 kill already gets his Echo Slam down, and just death all over on the side of Team Gemini. They are able to get out the Darkseer and the Disruptor, but that's a team wipe from Team Gemini, and immediately here comes the Cobra ping out the Tier 1 tower. They're like, this is a freebie, let's take it, drop it down. And it will be. You have Rubik up on the side of Dire. He's got his Town Portal scroll, but he knows he can't go in here alone. Even with Winter Wyvern joining the fight, those two alone would not be able to defend against a relatively meaty Gyrocopter and Queen of Pain. So they take the Tier 1. Anti-Mage teleporting to the Tier 2 tower. He'll look to clean up some of the farm from the wave that's pushing in. And Darkseer rotates to the safe lane, the Radiant safe lane, and looks to repeat the pressure that he put on the top lane.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Winter rotating mid to get a little bit of free experience for himself before the Radiant team have a chance to reset to their appropriate lanes. So he's 5. If no one else joins him mid lane, he should be level 6 here in just this creep and maybe one more wave. So after this incoming wave, especially with the catapult, he should be sitting right around level 6, which will give him Winter's Curse and a little bit of more utility in these big team fight encounters that are going on. He'll be able to maybe focus out the Queen of Pain and draw her attention off of everyone else by having her allies attack her. Pings coming out from both sides of the map. Earthshaker pinging out the rotations coming by Team Gemini. So Queen of Pain does a little bit of tower damage and backs off.
Page from bad kid is bad. Page from bad kid is bad. Page from bad kid is
So
bad.
that sound you're hearing now
Page from bad kid is bad.
is
Page from bad kid is bad. Page from bad kid is bad.
sorry about that. And of course, I miss yet another KC kill on Viper. So, if you want the highlight reel of Queen of Pain killing Viper, you're going to have to download the replay in-game and watch it, because I'm missing all of these kills. That one came, obviously, compliments of the double damage rune sitting in her bottle. But still, that's at least 3 Viper kills that I've missed on her. So apologies to Casey. But as she's sitting 8-1, I have caught several of her other kills, so there's plenty footage of her dropping dire heroes so far in the game to keep you entertained. Anti-Mage rotating into the jungle, seeing if he can find a little bit of farm. A little bit of safe farm, that is. Viper rotating up as well. So you only have 2 heroes on the side of the Dire. Or 2 heroes, excuse me, on the Radiant side. Casey and Robin Sock. Seeming to be positioned a bit aggressively. Viper coming out, seeing Queen of Pain, Rubik there to lift her and throw her away, and she decides not worth it, too many, and there are a lot of Dire heroes sitting there, all 5 of Team Gemini's heroes sitting in the top lane. So they wisely back off, let them reset. Heroes rotating bot, seeing if they can go on the Gyrocopter, get a little bit of poison off, but the missile coming to Viper, Rubik will try to knock it off, but it connects, but there's no follow-up from the Radiant side. KC positioning behind the Tier 2 tower here, and he's going to try to pick off the courier. He gets it, Tornado comes slightly off the mark, so they're not able to get it. She makes a turn and she's going on Anti-Mage here, but her ult is not enough to drop him with that spell shield from Anti-Mage, which mitigates some of the magic damage. Anti-Mage blinks up to her, pops his ult, and down she goes. So a bit aggressive from Casey, likely feeling a little bit immortal after sitting 8-2. And then meanwhile in the bottom lane, the supports rotate over to the side of Gyrocopter, and they're able to drop the Rubik, who is a little bit too far out of position. Another tornado coming from not Rubik, excuse me, Invoker. And it kind of parts the sea of supports from Here Comes the Cobra.
What surge is this?
It's got a pretty strong concentration of heroes in the bot lane. Darkseer rotating over, making sure he's ready to join the fight if needed. You have 4 heroes from the Radiant, 2 heroes from Dire, and this tower sitting on its last leg at 100 HP. They're pinging it out. Darkseer wants it. Call down comes from Gyrocopter. It connects. The first missile, the second missile. Darkseer surging ahead, pops the vacuum. Ion Shell's kind of ticking away the Viper. He drops. Oh, but Rubik steals the vacuum himself. Vacuums together the Darkseer and the Disruptor. They're continuing to chase Disruptor, but Earthshaker trying to protect him. He hits Enchant Totem, and with the Aftershock is able to very stun the Dire heroes for just a moment, long enough for Disruptor to get out. Queen of Pain rotates behind him though, and with a blinking Echo Slamming Earthshaker, massive amounts of damage is getting dealt. So 2 more kills coming the way of the Radiant, and this fight recap isn't catching everything. Obviously, it didn't even catch the Darkseer involvement that fight or the Viper death, but just that last stretch seems to be a 3-0 going the way of Here Comes the Cobra, with about a 2,000 gold swing in their favor. Checking the gold charts, and it's been since about the 2-minute mark, not even that, the 30-second mark, when Queen of Pain got that first blood. It's been all uphill for them. They're sitting at about 11,000. 11,000 net worth advantage over Team Dire.
Regeneration.
And about 7,700 experience in their favor. Checking the levels real quick. Lowest level on the side of Team Gemini. So you have level 7, level 8 Winter Wyvern, the 2 supports.
Top tower is under attack.
But the supports on the side of Here Comes the Cobra, the Earthshaker, the Disruptor, are 8 and 10 respectively. Are 10 and 8 respectively. Pings coming out from Disruptor and Darkseer in the enemy jungle for some reason. Winter applying a little bit of pressure to Queen of Pain, forcing her back. Pings from everyone calling out to the anti-mage over here. They do see him. Glimpses there. As he blinks, the silence is there, and he's not going to get away. Fissure comes out, and it actually catches Winter Wyvern on the tip. They get a bunch of damage done, and the poison alone will be enough to drop them there. Team Dire's looking to reset, but Kinetic Field catches 2 more. EV440 and Polyrhythm in there. And so both of those go down too, to the Gyrocopter with a big call down. Glimpses off cooldown, speaking of cooldowns, and they are able to catch Invoker. A silence from Queen of Pain, and that drops the Invoker as well. So it's another full team wipe coming the way of Here Comes the Cobra. And that's going to be it for the Tier 2 tower at least. Team Gemini not calling game yet, but it's definitely looking like it's a pretty one-sided match. It's another 3,000 gold, probably 4,000 or 5,000 gold after this tower drops, going the way of Here Comes the Cobra. In addition to that, and often one of the most overlooked indicators of how a match is going, in my opinion, is rune control. Vision is great, and it helps you control runes, but with Here Comes the Cobra having the map control, so you can kind of see Dire's vision here, what they have to work with.
Bottom tower is under attack.
That they have the 1 ward here. And is that going to be?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, those are just out of range.
Radiant's
So
bottom tower
both
is
teams
under attack.
have wards. They have the right idea in this bot room, but they're just outside of each other's range. So neither of them see it. But here comes the Cobra's going to use that extra space they have to do Roshan. Meanwhile, I continue to miss kills by KC, who's in their jungle, picking off an anti-mage who's just trying to find a little bit of farm wherever he can. And Queen of Pain's not making it easy. He does get caught out by the tornado though, and Cold Snap lands. Invoker looking to put a little bit of pressure on, but she blinks away. That 6-second cooldown on blink is not so detrimental that she can't get away safely. Speak with an accent, a sexy one. Cobras are my favorite snake. Show you the swing? There's no swing. It's a slant.
Yes.
So, I have a friend who I can only imagine is Jim, who just followed the stream under the name The Moon Rules. So, although it's an ironic follow, I appreciate it. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain killing off Anti-Mage again. Compliments of the Secret Shop rune. Disruptor trying to cause as much chaos as he can around the tier 2 tower here. They're not doing a lot of damage to the tower. They're trying to fight past it and do damage to the Dire side from afar. But Dire are following in pretty deep here, desperate to make something happen. Call down is going to come. It's going to land on 3 with the first missile. Just 1 with the second missile because everyone else is already dead. Viper going down. Invoker going down, Winter going down. They're gonna glimpse Rubik, and that'll be number 4. So Anti-Mage has now respawned after fighting Queen of Pain near their Ancients and Secret Shop, but he's not gonna be able to dive into this AoE monstrosity that is Here Comes the Cobra. He is going to try to defend his tier 3 against KC's Queen of Pain using the high ground. But KC blinks in aggressively, saying, I don't care where you're at, I'm coming for you. But doesn't follow up too aggressively, blinks out of there, all the while creating space for the rest of his team to do damage to the tier 3 in the top lane. So Dire team back up to full strength, so to speak, but it's 26 minutes in and they're sitting at a pretty big disadvantage if they want to come back from this. It's 23 kills in favor of Here Comes the Cobra's Radiant side, and the gold graph certainly shows it. They're past 20k and continuing to climb. So I expect to see Cobra keep up the pressure here, just stay on the enemy side of the map, and starve out the farm of this Anti-Mage and the other cores on Team Gemini. Winter blasting the creep wave back, trying to create some space. Darkseer sitting on a smoke, and I believe he just popped one? Thought he had 2 in his inventory. Casey, desperate to continue harassing this Anti-Mage, blinks forward with low HP, throws a sting out there, but it isn't going to do much. So at this point, it seems like the Dire team is almost landlocked in their base. You have Viper just running laps around the melee barracks. And they ping out to their high ground, suspicious of a Radiant ward. They drop a sentry there, but there's none to be seen. Meanwhile, Radiant dropping a sentry ward of their own on the big rock. See how much vision this Dire team has. And what little vision they have is now expired. So they have their tier 3 towers and the heroes themselves. Even the creep wave's not offering them much vision. So they see Disruptor, they know that Roshan's already dead, so they can't be doing that. Aegis still very much alive there, and as I say that, it disappears on the gyrocopter.